The night after the attack on Washington, D.C. was a cold one as the Mark A-12 Skyranger flew over the Nevada desert. Commander Cotton sat in a seat in the back of the Russian-designed vertical takeoff and landing craft as he looked at the screen of a small laptop he had been handed before departing Fort Benning. Cotton had been told that as the head officer at the Crow's Nest, he was the fourth person there allowed access to the X-COM database dubbed the UFOpedia. The name had struck Cotton as odd as it didn't sound that professional. But he didn't care that much anyway. All that mattered was that he had information he deemed necessary to know about the enemy he would be leading his soldiers against as well as the gear they would be using. But before he could make a selection, a screen popped up on his laptop announcing that he had a pre-recorded message from the Council of the Funding Nations awaiting him. Cotton clicked on it before slipping some headphones on so he didn't wake up some of the other people on the flight with him. The figure in the video was shrouded in shadows as it began to speak in a voice that was obviously altered to hide the person's identity, since it sounded far too much like Optimus Prime.
Greetings, Commander. In response to the alien threat to our planet, this Council of Nations has voted anonymously to activate the X-COM project. You have full command of your soldiers and partial command of the base operations. We must learn more about our enemies to expand our capabilities and eliminate the threat to our planet. You and every other base around the world has been outfitted with the best soldiers our nations have to offer and the best technology mankind has produced. But do not forget that good people will die. If we are to survive this war, every loss and sacrifice must be worth it. Good luck, and remember, we will always be watching, Commander.
The commander scoffed after the video had ended and clicked out of it. Politicians, he said under his breath. Cotton felt that the war should be left only to soldiers, not old men who couldn't even wipe their own ass without an underpaid assistant to advise them. Cotton then proceeded to access the available files on the sectoid aliens and got a nasty surprise when the first thing he saw was a close-up of one of the creatures, its dark eyes staring at him and making his blood boil as he looked to the ones that had attacked his worlds. From the research notes of Dr. Valen, we found no discernible genetic variance between any of the small humanoid aliens that have been examined thus far. They are perfect genetic copies, each and every one of them. The subject's brain is quite sizable in respect to its body, and appear to have been augmented even further by cybernetic implants of some kind. Considering the fragile nature of the creature's physical form, it is safe to assume that these implants were intended to somehow improve the combat effectiveness of the species. Dr. Shen and the engineering team here at the Crow's Nest have already developed several theories as to how we might be able to adapt these implants for our own use, but do not have any viable prototypes yet. Dr. Valen's personal side note: cloning, genetic manipulation, biomedical implants. The implications of these technologies and the aliens' motives are not reassuring in any way. Combat notes: sectoids are generally weak and can be easily killed with a well-aimed shot, and some have even been killed with extreme ease in hand-to-hand combat. A single sectoid is a very minor threat to an experienced X-COM soldier, but the more sectoids that group together, the more dangerous they become. Some suggest it's the possibility of a hive mind-like ability, which is also their weakness. The more you kill, the weaker the remaining sectoids become. The only other important combat note for any X-COM trooper to know is that they are rarely encountered alone or without some kind of mechanical backup. One should make sure that the sectoid is actually alone before engaging. Cotton couldn't help but shiver at the image and tried his best not to think about what poor soul had been close enough to get such a good picture. He exited the main data page and started looking up what info they had on the cyberdisc and that big walker that had attacked him. A moment later, he was met with a big red screen saying that he didn't have the security clearance to view the info. Just like that, the real important stuff is on a need-to-know basis. And apparently, I don't need to know. A trooper next to Cotton cleared his throat. Cotton turned and saw the soldier next to him had a Japanese flag on his shoulders. So sorry to bother you, sir, but I don't think that this is the best place to view information like that. Cotton quickly realized that the soldier was right and closed the laptop. Thanks, trooper. I don't believe I've ever caught your name. The Japanese soldier quickly took Cotton's hand and bowed his head for a second. I am Satsuke Sato. I was recently transferred out of the Japanese airborne infantry. A fellow jumper, I see. We're going to get along just fine, Sato. Cotton said. He was cut off a moment later as the pilot spoke over the Sky Ranger's intercom. Okay, everyone, wake up. We have arrived at the crow's nest. We hope you have enjoyed Sky Ranger flights. And remember, keep your eyes open out there, roughnecks. The Sky Ranger's back door slowly dropped open to reveal a large metallic hangar, which made the new arrivals feel more as if they were on a giant spaceship rather than an underground base. Cotton stepped out of the plane as a flight crew came over to refuel it. A man in a green sweater with an earpiece quickly walked over. A man in a green sweater with an earpiece quickly walked over to greet him. Hello, Commander Cotton. I am the Hello, Commander. I am the Central Operations Officer of the Crow's Nest facility. Now, I'm sure you have lots of questions and need a quick briefing on the situation at hand, but as of the moment you set foot on this base, you automatically gained some power in key decision makings. Unfortunately, Commander, we have an issue on our hands that we need help with. Sure, fine. Lead the way, Cotton said and followed Central to the main corridor of the facility and down an elevator shaft, 3 floors to the operations level where the labs and workshops were. Cotton and Central quickly walked out and past one of the science laboratories until they reached the alien containment wing. There, Dr. Shen and Dr. Valen were attempting to communicate with an enraged blue. There, Dr. Shen and Dr. Valen were attempting to communicate with an enraged little blue horse. The creature was wearing a magician's outfit and knocking back the interrogator device, coming at her with some type of telekinesis. Is this some kind of fucking joke on the new guy? Cotton said out loud, confused at everything that was going on. No one responded. All eyes were on the pony in the cell and as it shouted, "Stop this at once, or Trixie will bring down the wrath of the princesses on you."